Now, I think last night you were showing me, we were on a video call last night, and you were showing me some of Alexey's videos too, which I thought was
Yeah,
interesting. I
yeah.
don't know if you'd want to do a screen share and put some more of those up or not.
I
But
wasn't doing it. Jeremy was doing it. I would
oh,
have trouble
okay.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have trouble finding those offhand also. That was why I asked.
But there
Well,
is a video that Charlie, one of the members of our group, he put together all the pertinent scenes into one video. So he took the like 10 or 12 videos Alexey had, and then he cut out all the stuff that really wasn't about, the thing actually flying and demonstrating it. And then he put all the demonstrations into that one video. I'll see if I can pull it up and stick it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so let's take questions. Who has questions for Todd? And I know you drilled down pretty deep into the physics behind Alexey's device.
Well, I was surprised because to me, in my mind, there's only one thing that would make it work, and that is if you really had figured it out. And given my engineering model of quantum gravity that I've been presenting since 2016, it appears that he did. It actually appears that what he came up with is exactly what my model predicts. And so if it works, and a lot of people say it's fake, but I don't think so. He seems to go to great lengths to show it's not. And we'll see.
Yeah. Well, let me go to Harold, sir. Oh, you're still muted, Harold. Let me.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Presentation. What I want to ask you two-part question. Number one, I know you discussed the energy relation, in that particular video, how it would create a force. Going back to another earlier presentation that you gave, how does the Maxwell temporal field effect, applies in this particular presentation that you're giving in terms of a lifter produce a lift, the way the energy input is being used?
Okay, so the Maxwell temporal field is my pet name for a magnetic scalar field. So scalar magnetic flux density. It's just a magnetic flux density with no vector direction. And that's exactly what this is. It's the magnitude of B is a scalar magnetic flux density without any vector direction. So anywhere you see the magnitude of B, that's a Maxwell temporal field.
Yeah,
and so that B field will affect the Compton frequency of any subatomic particle with a charge to mass ratio. So if you change that magnitude of B, it'll change the mass of the particle.
I can see that you're using, exactly providing a vector field with a magnetic flux density. Now, my second question applies to that. Now, what is the role of Newton's third law in that particular example? Is it, where is it going with the Newton's third law? Have you taken that into account in that particular model?
Yeah, it's in terms of the stress energy tensor. What is happening is below the disk and around it is you have a magnetic pressure gradient, and that pressure gradient is what supports it. Now, that equation to generate the force is the gradient in the magnetic field, but it's also the gradient in the magnetic moment. And Alexey has not only the steel plate with the magnets on it, he's also got a parallel plate capacitor that with the counter rotating spin on the other disk, and that forms a magnetic moment. Both disks have their own magnetic moment, and it's possible that he's got a gradient between them in that magnetic moment that is supporting itself in the Earth's magnetic field.
You said, they say a partial Newton third law, that one of them create a force on the other, but the other one does not create an equal and opposite force on the other.
Yeah, and I believe he's exerting a force on the Earth's ambient magnetic flux density.
All right, thank you. Great presentation.
Thanks, Harold. Okay, so actually, while you guys were talking, I found, actually, I want to thank Pablo. Pablo found the clip. So he found one that compared it to Hutchison, and then I found one that, so I guess we have a couple. We could start with this one. Todd, do you want me to do a screen share, or do you want me to send you the clip and you can screen share?
No, go ahead. You do
Okay,
it.
I wasn't sure, because if you screen share, you can fast forward and stuff through it, but.
Oh, yeah, if you don't see him, yeah,
Yeah.
this is a good one. This is,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
this one you don't have to fast forward through because he clips it really quick.
Here, and I will maximize that. Hopefully this doesn't goof anything up. But yeah, I would love your thoughts on this. I'll spotlight you for everyone, and that way we can see you. And
Yeah, you can see here, you're seeing right through both discs. You can see right through, he's got the magnet spinning below it, and the one, what, so it was stuck on the ground, and he touched it, gave it and it came loose from the ground and lifted, popped right up. And then this one, he gets it up. And I think, mostly I think he's either adjusting the voltage between the plates or the frequency of the spin of the motors to get it to lift higher or lower. And then it tends to lock itself right to that spot.
yeah, see, and then he jumps into Hutchison stuff.
You can skip this.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hutchison, but you know what? Let me go to the other one here real quick.
Yeah.
So we have more grab a flyer clips, and again, this is a compilation by Charlie.
This is a good one. You're in the middle of it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, and just let me know if you want me to fast forward through here, Todd. And I would love your
little bit,
feedback.
just a little bit to get it to where he's got it. You can see it where he's start. Yeah, a little further. Yeah.
Oh, like right there, something like that.
Yeah, right there. He's plugging things in.
What is the YouTube website?
Oh, it's in chat, actually. I'm not going to read that one out loud because it's just a bunch of letters and numbers.
No, his YouTube channel is Alexey Chekurkov. I'm gonna fast forward a little more. He's still, it's the video is very slow and choppy.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
So this is one of the older ones, right?
Yeah, this was his first one. And I'm not sure he really understands how it works because he built a third one that didn't fly. And he's trying to make it better and he made it worse. So, he's showing his successes and failures. This one, he said, I think this is the one he said someone stole it. And then he built another one that's worked much better. This is the one that had the AC fans. So that's why he just unplugged it. And fast forward a bit, he's done on this one.
Okay, oops. Oh, sorry about that. So that
he's showing you.
Oh, he's okay. Let me
go
this
a little further up on this one.
Yeah,
right in there. So this is the better one. And this is the one I showed the pictures of. And he's out here in the field, and on another video he showed the same field, and he's got his camera out there. He says there's no wires up there, there's no telephone poles or power lines, there's no trees. He's out in the middle of the field, and then he gets this big stick and starts waving it around behind it, in front of it, walking around it. And it's just, it would be, it's possible, but I give him the benefit of the doubt because he goes to such great lengths to show it's not.
Yeah. And Todd just messaged me. He said that we're gonna go to Interstellar in about 5 minutes. So,
Okay.
but yeah, this is the one that Jeremy Reese showed us last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll see he touches it next. And when he touches it, he's grounding out the effect of the Tesla coil. So I don't think this Tesla coil is doing anything. You know, and that's what's weird. And he's grabbing the wires, and you know, he took the weight off the wires and immediately tried to go up higher.
But Todd, it's not directly connected to the Tesla coil. There's wire feeds into it, so it's not really high voltage, right?
Right. Well, if you're not touching it, it is. But as soon as you touch it, you ground it. The high voltage doesn't have any hard connection. So even a tiny trickle current of microamps through your body is enough to bleed it off.
Yeah.
But this thing, you see, it just, even when it's a windy day and the thing just pins itself there. So he must have cranked the voltage way up on that one, because he's lifting all that wire all the way up there. You know, so the thing's got some force behind it. And that equation I just gave you guys, I mean, there's some force behind that equation. It's not a weak equation. It's linearly related to a gravitomagnetic field. So it's as close to mimicking gravity as you're going to get.
Yeah, and he turned it off there, and it drops. So
yeah, but like you guys were saying it previously, when he turns it off, it sits there for about 20 seconds before it actually falls. So it's you know, like you said, it kind of conditions the environment.
I'll just forward through, because he's now that then he does have another one as well.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of them. Like I say, they're all in this video, but
here's another one where you mentioned him touching it. This is the one that I noticed.
Yeah, he's leaning on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best example of any. So I mean, it looks like he's stepping over the power cords. I don't know, but
in this one, this is the one where he kicks it. You know, he kicks the thing and it just comes right back. And it doesn't behave like it's being held up by a drone or it's got a propeller or anything like that. It's not moving the grass below it.
Yeah. And this is further, I'm just fast forwarding through this clip because we're pushing up against Mark's time here.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I would say probably the same way a lot of people feel. When I look at this, probably because of the rudimentary construction, right? It's pieced together and all that. My gut tells me it's fake. I just can't figure out how.
Same here.
You know, like logically, the logical part of my brain, maybe, you know, but it just my intuition is like, okay, this is fake. But then
until I found that paper on levitation, I was right there with you, Tim.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, okay, this equation actually matches what it's supposed to be. And then I was like backtracking, like, wait a minute, this thing might actually work.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I don't see any dead giveaways. I haven't seen any dead giveaways yet.
We got to get him on here, even if we need an interpreter with him to, you know, even Jack needed an interpreter. So.
Russell Anderson is trying to purchase one of these from him, and so we might be able to get an interview too. And you know, Russell might be able to, if nothing else, he could go through it and say, okay, this is kind of what Alexey is doing. So
yeah,
so it would be interesting. It would be interesting. Yeah.
Any other questions or?
You know what? I think we're all set.
Right,
I think Mark is patiently waiting for us. So let me stop sharing and I'll remove spotlight. And again, everyone, please give Todd Desiato an enormous hand. Todd, thank you very much for running us through that. I'm really excited to see as you keep working on this. I'm really excited to see what you come up with.
Well, like I said, I went from working on a an NMR experiment where I was hoping to see a couple of milligrams of weight loss to something that hopefully was going to take off the table,
Yeah.
lift
Well,
off the table and stick to the ceiling, as I've been saying for 20 years.
it's kind of a high publicity area, right? So
Yeah.
whatever you can share on it is gonna, I think there's interest there. People are asking questions, so I think that'll help
Yeah.
fill in the blanks, no matter which way it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think someone needs to figure out what he's doing. I mean, if there's something going on there, my goal is to find out what it is.
I hope it's not fishing
Well,
line.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I really hope it's not like a lifter or it's blowing ions or blowing an ion wind or something. But I mean, the thing weighs several kilograms.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be ultrasonics or ions that are going to lift that thing.
No, yeah, I would be amazed if it was ions. And you know what? If he was able to lift that using ions, that would open up a whole new propulsion
yeah.
system using ions. So
Yeah,
we,
I mean, it's not millinewtons. That's like, newtons. That's orders of magnitude better.
yeah. Okay,
All
well,
right, thank you
so
all.
thanks again, Todd.